Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a first impression, swatches, and review on the new Tarteist Pro Eyeshadow Palette as well as the Tarteist Pro Glow Palette. Now Tarte released these palettes and nobody knew they were coming out with these palettes, and they just released them on their website, and as soon as they released them, I think like the next day I went on and I ordered it. So I did haul this in my last video. If you haven't checked out my haul, I will leave it linked somewhere in the video so you can check that out. So today I'm just going to be giving you my first impressions on the palette as well as swatches and an eyeshadow tutorial on this look. So if you guys are interested in seeing my thoughts on the new Tarteist Pro Eyeshadow Palette as well as the Tarteist Pro Glow Palette, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so the first palette that we're going to be talking about is the Tarteist Pro Eyeshadow Palette, and I absolutely love this palette. Now this palette contains 4 duochrome shadows and the rest of the palette is matte. So I honestly think that, you know, the palette is really good quality. Like I had said in my haul video, I was really interested in swatching the palette to see if the quality was up there with the Tarteist eyeshadow palette or if it was not so good like the holiday palettes. So this palette is super pretty. This is just how it looks. Has some really nice colors in it, and I really love how they put a mixture of cool tone and warm tone shadows in the palette. And then also right here on the side are all of your duochrome shadows. So I don't know if you, on their website they tell you that each row is supposed to create one eye look. So you should be able to just take this row and create whatever eye look you want to create. But of course you can also skip all over the palette, which is what I did. So I kind of feel like this would be a nice palette if you are looking to invest in your very first high-end eyeshadow palette, because the palette also comes with this little card, and it just gives you ideas, and it gives you ideas on every row. So I mean, I just thought that that was a really good thing that they threw in also. The mattes in this palette are so pigmented and they have kick up in them, but I mean, I really don't mind that. All you just have to do is just tap off the excess, because I mean, with the Anastasia palettes, those have kick up, and with the Lorac Pro palettes, those have kick up as well, and they are all really nice quality, and this palette is no exception. Alright guys, so we're going to get on to the swatches of the palette, and I'm going to be swatching the first row for you first, which is this row right here. I'm just going to go straight across. And the first row is Classic, Innocent, Whimsy, Smoke, and Ethereal. So this is like a really pretty bronzy shade. I really love this shade. So here they are swatched on the back of my hand. As you can see, these colors look so beautiful on deeper skin tones, and the mattes are super pigmented, and they do have a lot of kick up, but like I said, you know, all I have to do is tap off the excess on your brush and it will be fine. So this is the shade Classic, which is a cream shade, which it doesn't look cream on camera because of my lighting, but it is a cream shade. And the next shade is Innocent, which is a really good transition color for deeper skin tones. As you can see, it's like almost my skin tone. So this is a really good blending shade. The next shade is Whimsy, and I absolutely love this shade. The next shade is Smoked, and it is just like a deep chocolate, and I find these to be a little drier than the other ones, but they are super pigmented and they don't give as much kick up as the other ones, but it is super duper pigmented. The next shade, well, the last shade is Ethereal, and it is the duochrome on this row, and as you can see, this is really pretty. Like, it's like a bronzy gold shade. This is a really pretty everyday shade for the lid, and it's not too much. So you can wet your brush, of course, and make it a little more intense, or you can just wear it as is all over the lid. But this is the first row, which is Classic, Innocent, Whimsy, Smoked, and Ethereal. So this is the first row of the palette. Alright guys, now on to the second row that I will be swatching. Yeah, right here, which is this row right here. And this row is Vintage, Fierce, No Filter, Vamp, and Glam. So I am going to show you the swatches of this row. And as you can see, this row is definitely more cool tone than the first row. So Vintage is just like a cream shade, but it's like a cooler tone cream shade. Almost kind of white. It's kind of white, but not really. Like it's not an ivory, it's like a cool tone. And then the second one, which is Fierce, as you can see, it looks kind of like a purplish gray. Then the next shade, which is No Filter, and it kind of looks like a cool tone burgundy. And the next shade, which is Vamp, and it just looks like a really, really deep black and purple. It's definitely a cool tone shade. And then the duochrome or the foiled shadow on this row is Glam. And this is definitely a cool tone color also. So this is the second row. As you can see, these swatches are super duper duper pigmented. And again, just like the last row that I swatched, well, the first row, the shade Vamp, it's like a really dry kind of hard formula, but the shadow is super duper pigmented. Like this is one swatch. I kid you not, this is one swatch. When I say the shadows are pigmented in this palette, they are very pigmented. So you really don't need to pick up a lot, and you kind of need to, dab your brush in like very light, because, it is possible to pick up too much product and then just have it packed on your eye. So this is the second row, which is Vintage, Fierce, No Filter, Vamp, and Gleam. So this is the second row of the palette. Alright guys, now on to the third row in the palette. I kind of feel like this is a really nice mixture of cool and warm tones, which is this row right here. So I'm just going to swatch this row for you. And the names are Cheek, Profesh, Mod, Drama, and Mink. So here are those swatched on my hand. And I absolutely love Mink. I think that this shade is so pretty. But you have Cheek, which is a nice transition color. I really love this shade. And it's kind of like a, I don't know, it kind of looks like a rosy nudie color. I'm horrible at describing my colors, but yeah. The next one is Profesh, which looks like a really light grayish shade, and this looks like a cool tone shade. The next one is Mod, which has to be my favorite shade in the palette. The next one is Drama, and it is a burgundy, well, it's a plum. It looks like a plum. And then the foil on this row is Mink. So this is the third row of the palette. And as you can see, these shades look so pretty on deeper skin tones. I absolutely love this palette. I think that I will get a lot of use out of this palette. Alright, now on to the very last row in the palette. Here you go. This is just how it looks. And we are swatching this row. And here are the swatches on my hand. And this is Indie. This is Bold. This shade is Edgy. And this is a brown, but it has like a lot of, not a lot. I mean, this is a brown, but it has cool undertones. And then you have Punk, which is the black. And this is one swatch of this black across my hand. It is so pigmented. And then you have the duochrome, which is trendy, which is like that, you know, black blue pigment from MAC, and then Insomnia by Makeup Geek. So this shade is in a lot of palettes, but it is still a gorgeous shade nonetheless. And this is the last row. So I definitely feel like these all are cooler shades. So this is like a cooler row too. So it's kind of like they got warm, cool. Like 2 cool rows and 2 warm rows. Like that's what it seems like to me. Because this row seems like, you know, cool to me. So this is the 4th row in the palette. And I will again show you how the palette looks. And again, I think that this palette looks really good on deeper skin tones. I think this palette will look good on any skin tones. So it just all depends on what your personal preference is. But I kind of feel like they have something in here for everybody, whether you like cool tones, whether you like warm tones, whether you're dark skinned, whether you're light skinned. I feel like this palette would work out great for you. So yeah, those are my first impressions on the Tarteist Pro eyeshadow palette. And now we are going to get on. Now, hold on. One thing that I don't like about this palette, I just saw, it gets covered with fingerprints. But again, like I said in my haul, it's really easy to clean off. So like, it really doesn't bother me that much. But the palette is like, it just looks dirty all the time because of the texture that the palette is. But it's a really nice palette. And I honestly love that it has such a nice size mirror. And the mirror stands on its own. So, you know, if you didn't have a big mirror in front of you, if you're out of town or something, and you want to sit the palette up to do your makeup, you can do that because the mirror is huge in this palette and it stands by itself. So I honestly love that about the palette, and I feel like that makes the palette very travel friendly. So now I'm going to move on to the Tarteist Pro Glow palette. Alright guys, now moving on to the Tarteist Pro Glow palette, and it has that same kind of packaging that the original palette has. It's very sleek. It has Tarteist Pro Glow on the front and Tarte right here, and this palette is black on the back instead of being gold on the back like the eyeshadow palette. So with this palette, you flip it out and you get a mirror on each side. And it's easy to fold back, and then this is what you are getting in the eyeshadow palette. Now, I was very disappointed in this palette, and you will see that in the demo, because, I mean, look at the contour shade. Like, it looks deep enough, but it just comes off ashy, and it goes on white. And then when I blended it out, it kind of blended out to nothing. So, I mean, I definitely feel like this contour shade will not work for deeper skin tones. I mean, even if you are a little bit lighter than me, I still don't feel like it will work. If you are like, you know, just light skin, then this may work out for you. But, you know, as far as deeper skin tones, this shade is not going to work. This is the Sculpt shade. I feel like the Sculpt shade is not going to work either. I mean, the Sculpt shade will look gorgeous in the crease, but as far as a contour shade or a Sculpt shade, you know, or if you like set your contour, if you make your contour way too dark, I feel like this would be a nice shade to go over with to lighten it up. But, you know, as far as using these two together for my skin tone, no. I didn't even use this shade at all in the palette. And this shade I did use, but it was horrible. So moving on to the highlighters. As far as the highlighters go, I absolutely love all the highlighters. I feel like they give you a nice glow from within, like I'm wearing it now. Like, it doesn't give you a pow highlight, but it gives you a nice subtle glow. So I feel like all of these shades look really nice on deeper skin tones, all except for Strobe. And Strobe is just like this really light color, and that is what I'm wearing on my inner tear duct. Like I said in my haul video, this would be a nice shade to wear in the, this would be a really nice shade to wear in the inner tear duct. But this is just how the palette looks. And I will show you swatches. Well, I'll just go ahead and tell you the names. This shade is Lit. This is Fire, which is what I'm wearing as a highlight today. This is the contour shade, and it just says shade. And this is the Sculpt shade, and it just says Sculpt. This is Stunner. And this is Strobe. So it comes with 4 highlighters and 2 contour shades. So here are the swatches on the back of my hand. Like I said, I absolutely love all of the highlighters. This one is Strobe, and like I said, it probably wouldn't look good on deeper skin tones, but you can use it in the inner tear duct. This one is Lit. I really like this one on my skin tone. This one is Fire, which I think looks the best on deeper skin tones, and that's what I'm wearing today. This one is Strobe. And this one is Stunner. So I feel like Stunner would look good on the skin as well. Stunner kind of looks like, kind of reminds me of Opal, and it's really soft and it's really buttery. I feel like Stunner is the smoothest one out of all of them. Like that one just feels really buttery, and it reminds me of Opal by Becca. So I really like how this one looks on my skin tone. All right, now on to the contour shades. Now I kind of feel like this shade, like you see, it looks like it would be deep. I'm sorry. It looks like it would be deep enough, but like it just goes on so ashy and it goes on white. So I kind of, and then I've seen people with the palest of the pale skin tone use it in tutorials, and I don't know, to me it just kind of looks like it applies dirty. Like it just looks dirty on their face. It doesn't look like a really nice contour. So I mean, I don't like the contour shade in this palette at all. And like I said, the Sculpt shade will look beautiful in the crease, but as far as a contour shade, no. I mean, for paler skin tones, I feel like this would be a really pretty contour shade because they are both cool tone. But this one is just way too cool and it's way too ashy. Like it just showed up white on my skin, as you'll be able to see in the demo. I did not like this at all. So my overall thoughts on this palette. As far as the Pro Glow palette goes, I would definitely skip the Pro Glow palette. I don't feel like it's worth the $45. I mean, the highlighting shades are really pretty, but it's probably something that you already have in an Anastasia palette. So, I mean, this is just something that, you know, I would pass. I would definitely recommend the eyeshadow palette, but the Strobe palette, I would not recommend. I mean, I'm going to keep this palette just because, you know, I do other people's makeup. So I do people that's really lighter than me. I do people that's darker than me. So on someone that's lighter, I feel like the contour shades would be really nice. And I mean, the highlighting powders, like, they're nothing like whoa. But if you want to go for a nice subtle highlight, then this is a really nice eyeshadow palette. But like I said, these shades are something that you probably already have in your collection. So this is really not something that you just need to run out and get. I honestly don't think that is worth it, even if, I mean, especially if you are a deeper skin tone. Like, I have these shades already, but I will probably still use it because I bought the palette. But, I mean, honestly, I would say no to this palette. I don't like it that much, and I don't think that's worth the $45. So I would definitely pass on this palette. The eyeshadow palette, however, I absolutely love this palette. I think that it's definitely worth the $58. I think that, well, not I think, I wish that they would have put more duochrome shades in the palette, but as far, I mean, but that's really my only gripe about the palette, because I feel like they did a really nice job on the color selection on this palette. Like, you have something for everybody. You have cool, warm, you have light, you have dark, neutral. I mean, you just have everything in this palette, and I really love this palette. It is super pigmented, so I highly recommend the eyeshadow palette. But the Pro Glow palette, I'm gonna have to say pass on it. Like, it's just, I mean, the highlighters are some beautiful shades, but I mean, it's just not worth the $45. So yes, that wraps up my review on the Tarteist Pro Glow palette and the Tarteist Pro eyeshadow palette. If you plan on picking up these palettes, just let me know what are your thoughts on it. If you've picked up this palette already, either one of these palettes, just let me know what your thoughts are on the palette. What did you think about the palettes? But I know the palette did release in stores on Sunday the 30th. So, no, it's not in stores, it's online. So you should be able to get it on Ulta.com. I'm not sure when it's released in stores, but I will find out and I will have that linked in the description box down below. So yeah, that wraps up my review on these two palettes. Well, technically my first impressions on these two palettes. And if you guys are interested in seeing how I created this look using the Tarteist Pro Glow palette and the Tarteist Eyeshadow palette, then keep on watching. Alright guys, first off I'm going to start off using my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Toffee. And I have been loving using concealer to prime my eyelids lately. And then I'm just going to set that concealer in place using my Rimmel London Stay Matte Pressed Powder in the shade Transparent. Alright, next up, going into the Tarteist Pro palette, I'm going to be picking up the shade Innocent, and I'm going to use this as my transition color. Alright, next up I'm going into the shade Whimsy. And I'm just going to take this shade and put it all in the crease and above the crease. And this shade reminds me so much of Brown Script by MAC. Alright, next up I'm going to be going into the shade Mod, and this is my favorite shade in the palette. I'm just going to place this shade directly in the crease. Alright, next, to add a little definition to the crease, I'm going to go into the shade Drama. And it's just, and this purple is just a little deeper. Alright, next up I'm going to go into the shade No Filter, and I'm just going to place this right above the brow bone to just help blend that out and make sure there are no harsh edges. And then I'm going to go into the shade Punk, and it is just a very black matte shadow. And it is so pigmented, so you have to make sure you use this shadow with a light hand. And I'm just going to place this on the outer V and then blend it out. Alright, next up I'm going to be going into the shade Mink, and I'm just going to place this all over my lid, and I'm only going to place a light coat because I'm going to be placing glitter over it, but I'm just kind of using this as a base under there so that you won't see any skin when I put the glitter on. Alright, next up, taking my Too Faced glitter glue, I'm just going to use this and pack it all over my lid. And now I'm just going to take my glitter, which is like a reddish burgundy looking glitter, and I got these in a bulk. This is cosmetic glitter. I got it from eBay. I will leave the link listed in the description box down below. and I'm just going to place this all over my eyes. Alright, next up I'm going to line my eyes with my L'Oreal Telescopic Precision liquid liner, and I absolutely love using this liner whenever I use glitter. This is pretty much the only liner that I use whenever I use glitter. Alright, and then I'm going to be taking the shade Classic, and I'm going to set my brow bone. Alright guys, moving on to the Tarteist Pro Glow Palette. I'm going to take the contour shade, and I'm going to try to use that to contour. But you see the look on my face? Like, oh my god, what color is that? Like, it looks white. I probably should have stopped there, but I just went ahead and I just, you know, contoured everything to see how it would look when I blended it out. But as you can see, it just kind of blended away to nothing. And yeah, I really don't care for this shade at all. I mean, it looks dark enough in the pan, but when you put it on your face, it looks like a totally different color. Alright, so next up, to set that contour, or really contour, I'm going to be using my Tarteist times Shayla contour palette, and I am just going to use this to contour my face. Alright, next up, going back to the eyes, I'm just going to use the shade Punk, which is that matte black. I'm just going to place this as close to the lower lash line as possible. And then I'm just going to take the shade No Filter to help me blend out that black. Alright, now going back to the Pro Glow palette, I'm going to use the shade Fire, and I'm going to use this to highlight today. As you can see, this highlighter gives a really pretty subtle glow to the skin. Like, I love how smooth the highlighters are, and they blend really well. Alright, next up I'm going to be using the shade Strobe, which is the lightest shade in the palette, and I'm just going to use this to highlight my inner tear duct. Next, I'm just spraying my face with some Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. And that completes the look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos from me. Until the next video.